Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Elbow Drop podcast, brought to you by theelbowdrop.com, where we're dropping the elbow on all things sports and entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special edition of the Elbow Drop podcast because it's WrestleMania week. WrestleMania is this Sunday, boys and girls, and we're excited over here at the Elbow Drop. I'm the Birdman. Joining me in the Bird's Nest is Bob.
Hello, Internet.
And, of course, my partner in crime, Don Vito.
How's it going, guys?
It's going okay. The listeners can't answer us, but maybe they'll leave a comment and let us know how they're doing.
Please do.
But WrestleMania is this Sunday. We're excited. We've been BSing about it for weeks already, so let's get it on air. WrestleMania this Sunday, 4-hour spectacular on the WWE Network for just $9.99.
Yeah, they did that whole commercial with LL Cool J.
I enjoyed the
crap
crap
that was pretty cool.
That
They're talking about spectaculars. Like,
first time I saw
that,
I did not know that it was a commercial for the WWE. I just thought LL Cool J was plugging something, and then he's plugging Mania.
It just caught me off guard. I'm like, all right, another rap. Whoa, Mania.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. It sold a little bit, I guess. It kind of did what it was supposed to do.
He's going to be there, man. I don't know what his role is going to be because I know that apparently Skylar Grey and Travis Barker of Blink-182 and one other person, I forget who, they're going to be performing the WrestleMania theme song.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
live.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
But
Blink-182 at WrestleMania.
I'm not so sure if LL Cool
Feels like
J
1998 again.
That'd be crazy. No, but the singer's gone, so.
Yeah.
Well, they always have a nice little musical act at every WrestleMania.
Well, it's nice to have musical talent that counts
Yeah.
at Mania for once.
I enjoyed Motorhead there.
Exactly.
Motorhead was pretty good.
Oh, that'd be great if they were there this
but
year
you know who
again.
my favorite was? CeeLo Green.
Don't even joke, man.
I thought
I
Machine
can
Gun
joke.
Kelly was so much better. What are you talking about?
Why did they do that?
Do what? CeeLo Green?
I don't even understand why they had to. I dare him to come and challenge.
I
Don
loved
Vito.
all of CeeLo Green's
Bring it on,
song.
CeeLo.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to WrestleMania
Mania,
at hand.
what counts?
And past the musical act. And not to be offensive, but let's run down the card because we all know what matches we're waiting for. So let's just run down the card in order of least to greatest anticipation. I won't say importance, but that was the word I was saying when I said anticipation.
But surely our opinion, so.
Anyway, there's
let's
the
go at it.
pre-show Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the Tag Team Championships, rather. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro are the defending champs, and they're taking on the New Day. I don't know which two members of the New Day yet.
I think it's Kofi and Big E.
Oh, yeah, I think the third guy was injured, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Xavier Woods injured.
Yeah, I think his shoulder was really busted.
I have no clue, honestly. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't. Whichever
matter.
two members are in that match, I don't think the New Day's walking out champs, but we'll get to our predictions in a little bit.
Sure, we will.
The other two tag teams in this match are the Los Matadores, the Bullfighters.
Oh, God.
Or as Mikey Bulls likes to call them, the Bullshit Twins.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's a humorous story.
Just a quick story. I'm going to tell it real quick for the members of the listeners of the
All
Elbow
right, be
Drop.
quick about it.
2 years ago at the Royal Rumble, our Royal Rumble tradition is that we pick numbers, and if the guy that comes out that during the number that you pick he wins, you win. The Royal Rumble, whatever it is, money, whatever. And Mikey had 4 picks, and his 4th pick was.
We thought one of Los Matadores.
One of Los Matadores.
The music hit, and then El Torito came out, little bull guy.
he screams, "Oh, great, the Bullshit Twins!" And then the
Torito
bull comes out. It was hysterical.
Anywho, they're in the match as well, and then I believe the Usos are the 4th tag team. I don't think it particularly matters who walks out champions of this match. I just hope that these guys take the opportunity they're given to put on a great match. Even though they're the pre-show, they still are technically like the opening match that gets the crowd going. So hopefully it'll be entertaining. They're all very talented individuals, yada, yada, yada. Who's your pick?
My pick for this match, it's probably going to have to be the Usos. I can see the Usos taking the title, and then you have like a nice, decently long program with Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, because them as a tag team, I think, is a really good idea for both of them.
Yeah.
They were both kind of in squander, doing nothing.
It could be good for them, and now that they're champions, it's even better.
I like the New Day, but they need to evolve a little bit past that introductory stage that they're still stuck in.
Okay.
And Los Matadores just need to get rid of that entire gimmick. There's really no room for that in today's WWE.
I think WWE just needs a tag team. It was probably one of Vince McMahon's old ideas, and he loved it and whatnot. Okay, so your pick are Twin Kishi.
Yes.
And
Twin Kishi. I love that.
Bob, what's your pick?
I want Twin Kishi to win. I want the Usos to take it because they're a great tag team. We've seen them when they first started. They were a little weak, but they picked up heat how fast? Really, really quick. Of all the tag teams, I think they're the only ones who deserve to keep carrying it. But as you said, the Squander brothers, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, I like them. We need more of them. Keep the straps on them. Make them look strong. Let them get a Mania win and keep going out.
I agree with that, but
but I feel the Usos are going to take it.
Okay, I agree with your Tyson Kidd Cesaro example there, but I'm just going to throw like a wrench in the works here and go with the Matadors or the Conquistadors. No, the Conquistadors were uno and dos.
Larry, I promise you, we will be at Bob's house for the WrestleMania this
Vault
year.
126.
Vault 126. We'll be there for WrestleMania. I promise you.
Get Wi-Fi down there now.
I promise you I'll change my password for the network and make sure that the screen goes black if the Matadors win.
And if the Matadors win, we are now hiring a new person for the elbow drop, and Larry's no longer here.
Okay, well, I guess I'll have to take that. I'll put that in the W column. All right, anyway, on to the actual show itself. Let's go with the Divas. You know, I'm sure they'll be much later in the card, but let's just go with the Divas.
Bang it out quick, no pun intended.
Oh, I enjoyed the pun, though. Anyway, it's Paige and AJ versus the Bellas. It's pretty much the four most recognizable divas in the company right now.
The only four that really count.
Right now, yeah. I mean, you know, there's a few other talented ones.
But they're never going to take advantage of them, which they haven't.
Well,
so.
you know, it's the Bellas. They're on the reality TV. Paige has joined them as well.
I guess.
And AJ is AJ. Everybody loves
Financially,
AJ.
Bella twins, I guess.
You mean Mrs. Punk?
Mrs. Punk, Mrs. Brooks, yes. Although, I don't really want to comment on it, but I've been reading that apparently AJ and CM Punk have been tweeting weird tweets to each other, and, like, fanboys are, like, speculating, oh, maybe they have problems. I don't like reporting on crap like that, but it just seems to be everywhere, and I don't understand why. They're probably just messing with people.
Probably.
They're married. Well,
I'm pretty sure WWE tracks those things
Speaking
now.
of CM Punk, UFC, he just took his portrait photos, right?
Yeah, he took his first promo photos.
He just looks more cut than he did back in WWE.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's going to be fighting in a lower weight division, 100%.
Good for CM Punk.
I hope so.
He's not bulking up or anything.
And I'm looking forward to him defeating Triple H this year at WrestleMania.
You too?
Yes, I think it's going to be a fantastic match. Moving on, that's the Divas. I don't really care who wins.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
whoever wins, we lose.
Honestly, all four women in the match have done more face and heel turns than the Big Show has.
It doesn't matter to me.
It's just, I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Whoever wins, I will not be upset.
If they were used better, we would probably give them like an extra minute or two.
I will not be upset or pleased.
Yeah, like Diamond Dallas Page says. On to the next.
All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
All right. A lot of guys.
30 superstars, supposedly.
30 superstars. A lot of guys that wouldn't normally have a spot on the card now in a match at WrestleMania, getting to live their dreams for the first time, some of them.
That's the best part of this match. It's just 30 spots opened up that guys wouldn't normally get. And you get to see the guys that, you know, you may not see all the time, but like Zack Ryder or Bo Dallas. There might be a fan of his out there somewhere.
Yeah. So, Lab, what is your pick for that match?
Bunch of guys in this match. It's kind of too hard to say. You know, you don't really have a good chance of picking the winner. But I'm just gonna say Ryback. It seems like he's the favorite. A lot of people been saying Ryback, so I'm gonna go with Ryback.
All right, Bob, what do you think?
I was literally probably thinking Ryback too, because what other better way to kind of just push him up into, I guess, the main kind of scene again, instead of giving him
the
an
big
easy
guy.
Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna throw a curveball at this one. I'm gonna say Mizdow.
I thought you were going to say Hornswoggle, I swear to God.
I'm going to go Mizdow.
Mizdow? That would be cool. A good way to get Mizdow over. Not that he's not over already. But whenever this thing with Miz and Mizdow blows off, it's going to be big.
I think that they're going to actually finally set the feud into motion by having Mizdow eliminate Miz and having Mizdow take that trophy.
I hope so, because I'm very much enjoying the story, and it's one of those things in wrestling you don't get to see very often, which is it's played out, it's long, it's drawn out, it's not quick. I mean, they're building it, and they're building it, and they're building it, and every week it's just getting better. Yeah,
we were watching Raw here, and when Miz came out, he was, there was like a flat crowd, and then when Mizdow came out, the pop was so loud, I actually noticed it. I was like, wow, they're really cheering this guy, as if The Rock came out or something.
Yeah,
they were
immediate.
loud.
Because Mizdow's great. Sandow has been so underutilized. They give him these little funny gimmicks, and it just proves how much more solid and how well he can be on his own.
Guy's a stud, man. Idol Stevens is where it's at.
Yeah, man. I mean, Will Ferrell likes him.
Yeah, that's true. And Kevin Hart.
That
was pretty cool.
I want Mizdow, but yeah, I'm going to stick with Ryback. I think he'd probably pull out.
All right, so you say Mizdow. Me and Bob are with the Ryback. Moving on. I believe there's a United States Championship match between John Cena and the undefeated Rusev. John Cena, Captain America, as he is fighting for our country. He's trying to bring the belt back home. I admire it. He's a patriot. He's a true patriot, and I hope he brings the belt home. My pick, John Cena.
Rusev. I don't think they're going to build up so much heat for Rusev just to have him drop it to Cena.
I think it would be huge for him if he beat Cena again.
That's what I'm saying. Just throw
or if
more
Cena
heat.
actually tapped out. That Cena has never tapped out. If he taps out, that's passing the torch.
Literally, yeah. I think that would be the best thing they can do.
That would be very interesting.
I say Rusev.
But let's hear from you, Don Vito.
Rusev holds the belt until Kurt Angle's TNA contract runs out.
You've been saying this for a year.
Everyone's been saying this.
For a year, man.
I don't. Well, regardless, I don't think Rusev's losing at Mania. I think they're going to keep building that monster heel persona that he's been portraying very well. And as a fanboy, I'd love to see Kurt Angle come back in a year or 2 years, whenever his contract with TNA expires, and face Rusev for that belt. Have the accolade of Rusev being, he was United States champion for 2.5 years or whatever it is.
I think that would be great for the belt and great for Rusev. I just I see John Cena walking out, but hey. I feel like both situations would work out, and I'm pretty happy about that. But let me tell you about a little bit of a rumor I heard. I don't like to talk about gossip, but everybody likes a little bit of gossip. I heard through the grapevine that the WWE at one point was considering using, or having rather, the WWE champion, whatever they're going to do with that match, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, they're both megastars. We'll get to that later. But having John Cena be United States champion, and this segues into the next match I want to talk about, Daniel Bryan being Intercontinental champion at the same time, and restoring prestige to both of those belts.
Well, it's funny you mentioned prestige. I was going to say, I feel the U.S. division, I guess we can call it, I didn't really care about until Rusev picked it up. So I think the strap needs to stay on him, because it's just going to be Cena with another title.
I always cared about the Intercontinental Championship.
Which I did, absolutely.
I know it went through a little bit of a dark period, but I always cared about it. The United States title, I cared about it when it was exclusive to SmackDown. And then the second it moved to Raw, I kind of stopped caring. I still recognize it as a great achievement. It's just the IC title holds more...
Oh, yeah, it's like the U.S. is
it's
like...
more dear to my heart.
Oh, yeah, I like, as you said, the U.S. when it was brand exclusive, I loved it because it was like another IC to look at. But now, like I said, now that it's on Rusev, there's more to it.
Exactly. And I feel like the biggest problem is that you have two belts that are viewed as equivalents? Yeah, that's a correct word.
I'll take it.
You have two belts that are viewed that way, and it's like, well, which... Obviously, the heavyweight title is the top of the mountain. It's the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
But IC title, US title, what is the point? Which one is better? What does it mean to hold one and or the other?
One guy has one half of the world, one guy has the other.
And I think Rusev, like you guys said, if he holds the title and he's a long-term champion, that's huge for the United States Championship.
Sure, it brings prestige immediately to the belt.
Make a new longest reign.
And that guy that beats Rusev for that belt,
I also think
he's catapulted.
That if John Cena, they put the strap on him right now, that might do a little something for the United States title too.
No,
maybe it depends on how he handles himself.
Exactly,
I feel like Cena will respect the belt, but I feel like he won't treat it as if he's the best. Like I feel like Rusev believes he's the best while holding that U.S. belt. I don't think Cena will see himself that way.
It won't give the belt that much more attention.
I know what you mean, but I think Rusev thinks that he's the best regardless of what belt he holds. That's just my personal opinion.
I see where you're coming from.
I wanted to segue into the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. There's 7 guys in it. Luke Harper, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler. Help me out, guys, because there's like half the roster. Stardust, R-Truth. Am I missing anybody?
Wade Barrett.
And Wade Barrett.
Or Bad News Barrett, rather.
Bad News Barrett, the current Intercontinental Champion. Not that you'd know it because he keeps getting the belt taken from him. But I like that. I enjoy that little story. I think it's funny. It makes the Intercontinental title seem more desirable.
Yeah, I really do feel like I feel like those guys believe. Let me rephrase that. I believe that those guys really want that belt.
I think they all do, and I think they all want to prove a point at Mania. I think everybody expects this match to be the match that steals the show, and I think it will steal the show.
Most probably.
I was going to say, I love everything about this match. The whole stealing the IC title gimmick, on top of bringing back hint, hint, Money in the Bank kind of style.
Yes, the apology for taking it away.
Exactly. You have a handful of some of the best talent in the business in one of the best matches to ever be created for, as you said, one of the most prestigious titles at the most epic pay-per-view of the year. Like, everything about this match is platinum.
Yeah, that's the match that we here at the Elbow Drop, I think, are looking forward to the most.
Undoubtedly.
But needless to say, it's not going to main event the card. So we're talking about it now. But before we say our picks, I just want to say another rumor I heard was that maybe Sheamus is coming back at WrestleMania.
Oh, please
He
no.
might enter the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, possibly, but the other rumor I heard was that he might be the 8th guy in this ladder match. And he might actually capture the U.S. title. I don't know if that's true. I mean, not the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title. See, that's the problem with the title belts. But hopefully, after this WrestleMania, it'll bridge the gap, so to speak.
My pick for this match, I want Ziggler to walk out because he's never going to hold the big title again.
Admirable pick.
But I feel Ziggler is going to walk out.
Okay, Ziggler's walking out IC champ.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because your hair is just as long as his that you say that.
Now everybody knows.
As
well as my rock hard abs.
They saw it.
And amazing fish flopping abilities.
They saw that in the podcast. They know that your hair is long.
Yeah.
They know that you look like Jason Mewes.
I'm secretly Ziggler on house shows.
my pick for this match, whom I want to see walk out victorious, is Dean Ambrose. But I think what would be really good is if Wade Barrett walked out champ after getting the strap taken from him so many times and kind of looking a little weak.
Oh, and just keeping it like, no, it's mine.
Yeah,
I proved it.
Just
hop off.
Finally just putting his foot down, putting the hammer down, so to
giving
speak,
some
the
bad
bull
news
hammer.
to everybody else saying, nope.
Exactly.
I might
so
see.
I think he should keep that title belt as a souvenir, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a good thought. I really want Dolph to win. I'm going to be rooting for Dolph at WrestleMania. I'm going to be, cheering him on. But I don't think he's ultimately going to come up with it. What I honestly think is going to happen is you're going to have Bryan and Wade Barrett on the top of the ladder at the same time, and they'll both pull down the belt. And it's going to create a feud between the two of them for a while because Bryan needs to keep his steam, and Wade Barrett needs to redevelop his.
Well, Bryan doesn't... I mean, yeah, we can give him the strap, make him even bigger, but Bryan is so big, he can just, like, that episode of SpongeBob during the talent show where SpongeBob would put his hand out from the curtain and everybody cheers. Like, he can just walk out and people cheer him. He doesn't need a strap. He deserves it, but I feel give it to someone else.
Well, I think that's why I say they're both going to pull it down at the same time, because I feel like out of that match there needs to become a feud that's going to continue for this belt. And I think Bryan is the perfect guy to be going at it with Wade Barrett because he has that steam. And he can keep it going, and he can give prestige, lend his prestige to Wade Barrett.
I agree. IC title, to me, is already very prestigious. By the way, I just got to throw in there, I love the belt. The White IC title is my favorite.
Gorgeous belt.
Favorite belt of all time. I'm so glad that Stardust, or Cody Rhodes, I'm not sure, paid out of pocket to have that belt come back. It really it has the look of a championship,
Much. I really like the Oval IC, but it's much better than the Oval IC.
I'm glad you say that. Okay, so moving on, we have our picks from the ladder match. We all know that's going to be the match. We're all looking forward to it. Let's move on to Randy Orton, the Viper, the Legend Killer.
Who finally came back,
taking on Mr. Money in the Bank, the sellout, Seth Rollins, as some of the fans like to call him, or that I just think they call him. I'm not sure.
They will now.
Hopefully. Anyway, these two guys, their rivalry has been building for quite some time. I mean, it was a little bit of a recess in the middle there because Rollins had taken Orton out, so we didn't see him for a while. But it's been building since then, and it was even building a little bit before that. So it's finally coming to a head at WrestleMania, and I think Orton's going to pick up the victory. But the reason I say this is because I think Orton would benefit more from it, and Seth Rollins doesn't need it. He's got so much heat, and he's such a megastar already that I just don't. I mean, he's just made a career of taking a really good beating, like Shawn Michaels before him, and like Dolph Ziggler. These guys are just really good at making everybody else look good, and they make themselves look even better doing it. You know what I mean?
I hear you there. I think after a lot of false finishes and a lot of near falls, we're going to see Rollins walk out.
I think it's going to be the silent show stealer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be that one that sneaks up on us, and after the match, it's just going to be like, wow, that was really good.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Rollins.
All right, what about you, Bab?
Bab says that I think Orton's going to take it because Orton just came back. Give him a bit of love with a Mania win. Rollins still has the Money in the Bank, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, make Rollins lose, and have him cash it in maybe later in the night or something else. So there's no need to give him the win and then cash it in. I don't. It rhymes, but I don't think it would work. So I say give Orton the victory, and I think Orton will win.
Do you know that Seth Rollins actually carries around nude pictures of himself in that briefcase? That's how they leaked.
I would like to point something out before, not about the penis.
I did not say that word. I said nude photos.
I would like to point something out before
Rollins
we move
roll.
on. Technically, all 3 members of the Shield, or former members of the Shield, are undefeated at WrestleMania, and I believe they're the only 3 in the company right now that are undefeated at WrestleMania.
Is that a fact?
Oh, no, hold on. Sorry, never mind.
You should have came prepared.
I remembered another name.
I know those 3 definitely. I don't know if there's anybody else, but all 3 of them are undefeated at WrestleMania. So going forward, that's going to be something interesting to take a look at when you see their matches.
Well, you know what we can say is that you know who's no longer undefeated at WrestleMania? The Undertaker. You know, he lost.
You better watch what you're saying, man. Lightning might strike your house.
Yeah, but I'm a little worried, but he lost last year to the Beast. Brock Lesnar. I can't say his name like Paul Heyman can.
Brock. No, I can't either.
I can't
Brock Lesnar.
I can't do the Paulrus justice. You know what I mean?
The Paulrus. I like that.
But anyway,
Cuckoo.
You got Undertaker this year taking on Bray Wyatt. We're all looking forward to this. Who doesn't look forward to Undertaker matches? But the landscape has changed now that Undertaker is no longer undefeated at WrestleMania. What does this mean for the match? What does this mean for Taker? What does it mean for Bray Wyatt? I'm just glad to see Taker comes back, you know? Like, I'm glad he's not done. I don't care if he lost last year. So what? I still want to see him wrestle. And Bray Wyatt's the perfect opponent for him.
Well, I'm still not happy that they gave away that win to Brock Lesnar, especially since they didn't really capitalize on it too much.
How could you say that they haven't look at what he's done,
They
man.
made a shirt, an action figure, which you gave me for Christmas. Thank you.
Yes, I did.
So,
but
they built Brock up to be exactly what he is right now.
When you think about the impact that the streak has had on the wrestling world, you know, for the 22 years that it's been going on, or 21 years rather, because it's 21-1. It was a huge thing. I mean, that became a feel-good moment, a staple of WrestleMania. And they gave it all up to somebody believable, which I commend them for. But then the man doesn't show up for like months on end. It didn't make sense to me. And I'm not saying that they should have went with somebody like Roman Reigns or somebody else that was young that could have made a name for themselves doing it. All I'm saying is if they were going to give it to Brock should have had the respect for Taker to show up more often to gloat about it.
Oh, well, now, all right. Well, now you're getting into, you know, semantics of it and stuff that we may not know about. All I'm saying is that I get your perspective. I just tend to see the brighter side of things in wrestling. That's just how I have to look at them. Otherwise, it would drive me crazy, half the shit they do. That's my opinion. Bob, I think you were about to comment.
Yeah, there's so many obstacles to this, because if Taker wins, would you say Bray looks weaker?
No, not at all. That's because Bray Wyatt, his persona, doesn't care.
Now, if Taker loses, does he look weaker?
Does Taker look weaker?
Because he lost to a formidable opponent. I agree. I felt Brock was appropriate. Taker's choice, by the way. I felt it was appropriate for Brock to win. But now, if Taker ever loses again, if he competes at more after this, he's going to be N2. So he loses back-to-back Manias.
I got to say, every aspect of this match
That's exactly
is
it.
Interesting and important.
The streak was such a good idea, but now it kind of added a little bit of a... like a watermark on Taker now. Every time he competes at Mania, like I said, if he continues to do more.
There's so many questions surrounding it, because if you, like you said, Taker loses, does he look weak? If Bray wins, does he look strong, or would he have looked stronger if he was the guy to end it? If everybody's just gonna say, "Oh, it was easy pickings," you know? I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to it quite a bit. I think it's gonna be a crowd pleaser.
It's gonna be good regardless. It's gonna be a phenomenal match no matter who wins.
The atmosphere alone is really...
Oh, the build up. Like it's just like no pun intended, a spooktacular
Taker's
bout.
WrestleMania entrances are always awesome.
Top notch every year.
And Bray Wyatt's last year was great.
We were all there WrestleMania 20 when he made his return.
Oh, phenomenal.
Man, what an entrance.
Oh my God.
What a pop.
That's something I'll never forget, just that feeling that I had when the lights went out.
That was the loudest pop I've ever heard live.
I agree with you.
Like,
And I screamed my head off, man.
oh yeah, and we were far from the ring, so like it's not even like we were there.
The building
speakers.
shook. Like, I remember getting a headache almost from how loud that was.
I've been to Slayer shows. I've been to more metal shows than I can count.
Oh yeah,
but
the
for
Big Four, buddy.
that night when Taker returned in 04, holy crap. Just how loud that was.
Yeah, Madison.
So,
we can say Madison Square Garden was louder than Metallica concert.
Yes.
Something about Taker, man. It's the aura. The man is just so talented, and he really is a phenom.
And like as much as he is a phenom,
it's a credit to the man because the gimmick itself, when you really break it down, is kind of silly. So it's a credit to the man portraying the character.
Yeah, and Paul Bearer, he certainly helped.
He definitely did.
Rest in peace.
You can't deny that.
Yeah,
give it to Kane
rest
also.
in peace, Uncle Paul.
I
Kane
think without
too.
Kane, the Undertaker character would still have been big, but not as over as it really is.
Kane definitely gave Undertaker a second life, and it gave Kane a career.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
He was Isaac Yankem before that.
Well, let's get into it, Bob. Who do you think's taking this match?
I think they're going to give it a Bray, because Taker has how much longer, how much more steam is left in that engine.
I think if this isn't his final match, he may have 1 or 2 left in him.
Whether it be 1 or 2, say Taker loses and doesn't come back after this, Bray is going to kind of carry the torch as the new creepy, scary guy in wrestling, and I feel this would cement him and permanently make him a sight to see from now on top of already what he has.
That's a good point.
So I think if Taker loses, Taker really won't look weak, but at the same time, he's going to do it to help push another guy.
Well, if we look at this from the analysis of Mikey Balls, who's not here with us tonight, but was with us when we discussed it earlier in our first video podcast, you could just compare the man's hats.
Yes,
and really,
yes.
who has the better hat? You can always look at it that way. To me, I can't pick. I have to go with pure wrestling ability and storytelling.
And both are nearly identical.
Yeah, but me personally, I would love to see Bray Wyatt walk out with the victory, but I think they're giving it to Taker. Either way, I'm not displeased.
I'm going to have to side with Bob and go with Bray on this. I think the point that you made is exactly my thoughts on it as well, that it's kind of like a passing of the torch from one creepy dude to the next creepy dude.
Yeah.
In the most plain way of saying it. And I think Bray's going to do a fantastic job. I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. He's got great fan participation when he walks out during his entrance. He gets the phones
lighters,
lighting up.
Oh, I love that.
Just like the Undertaker used to get the lighters. His music is creepy. He's a creepy dude himself. I'm sure we're going to see some evolution coming to Bray's character. Maybe not huge evolution, but we're going to see little instances here and there of his character evolving a little bit. But I think Bray's taking it, and I don't think it'll be Taker's last match, but Bray's going to win this one.
You had a very interesting idea about the match, actually. We were talking about it the other day. Just like a fanboy perspective of what you would like to see happen.
You want me to tell them about that?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think if WWE was in a position to be able to do something like that, it would be kind of cool.
All right,
in
so
a comic book way, you know?
Just in passing, we were discussing it. Like Larry said, it was kind of like a fanboy idea, like something that I would want to see that I think would be pretty cool, is if during the match maybe Taker's getting ready to do the tombstone and lights go out, they come back on, neither guy's in the ring. Nobody knows what happened to these guys. They're unheard from for months. Then maybe it's SummerSlam, maybe it's a Survivor Series, maybe it's the next WrestleMania. In between matches, lights go out, they come back on. Bray's got Taker and his sister Abigail, plants him and pins him.
Take that, Brian Gerwitz.
I don't know. I feel that would... Oh, my God, the amount of hate. I feel more people would be mad at that.
Just, what would you think? Like,
initially,
Bray and Taker went to
Where
some
the hell
warped reality.
Where the hell did my match go?
Initially, yes, I believe people would be so upset.
But then when you
let's say, would the blowout be?
It would, but let's just say, all right, let's say they go that route, they disappear, and no one sees them. What if something happens? I mean, God forbid, something happens to one of those guys where they're injured. Let's go with something nice. Let's say one of them gets injured and they can't come back as expected. Now you lost all that heat. It might be too long.
No, because they're stuck in the Outworld with Shao Kahn, and they'll be able to make it back late. Only one of them could fit through the portal.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Bray Wyatt comes back with Shao Kahn Skull Crown. Let's do it. Let's totally do it.
Absolutely.
No, I like the idea, but
WWE immortal.
Fatality.
I'm just saying, I think it would be really something totally different and cool that wrestling has never done before.
And
it works with those two characters.
No. I like the idea, but I don't love it.
All right. You want to talk about something wrestling's never done before? Let's talk about our next match. Let's talk about Hunter Hearst Helmsley taking on the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, Hunter Hearst Helmsley... No, Triple H taking on Sting and the Police. No, it's just Sting. Triple H versus Sting. For the first time ever, Sting is wrestling a match under the WWE umbrella. It's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you were a fan of Sting's in NWA or WCW. He was pretty much the face of that company, him and Ric Flair. So to see him go up against, the face of the WWE, essentially, for the last 20 years, even though John Cena is technically the face, Triple H is the boss. So I know, Bob, you have an interesting opinion on the match, but before we get to that...
I will go easy tonight, don't worry.
Before we get to your opinion, I'm just going to give my quick little say on the match.
I'll throw mine in before you as well, Bob.
Please leave me for last.
I want to let you have the finale of this. I think Sting is going to walk out, with the win. He's going to get the W on this one. I think it's going to be an okay match. I think Sting's still got a lot of gas left in the tank. Triple H obviously is in phenomenal shape. It's not going to be the most technical match, but I think it's going to be a bit of a brawl, honestly. And I think the stare down and the entrances are going to be amazing. So that's something to look forward to.
I'll make mine very quick. Sting saved the entire thing on Raw when he said that he isn't a WCW soldier seeking revenge for his lost company.
Exactly.
And when he stated that he's just there to bring down a corrupt authority, just as he did in WCW, like he's some kind of saint. Or not a saint, I don't mean to say it in a religious way.
Well, he's a vigilante.
Oh, yeah. According to Michael Cole, or Vince McMahon through Michael Cole's voice, he's a vigilante.
He's a vigilante. He's Batman.
But yeah, Sting gets it. I can't see any reason why Triple H would pin Sting.
I gotta
in his
say,
first
he
match.
was also such a natural. Like, when he came out, he just owned it. He was just there, like he had been on Raw for years.
Bro, he's fucking Sting.
He is fucking Sting, as you so eloquently put it. But Bob, let's hear from you, man. We've heard our predictions. Let's hear from you.
I'm gonna time this.
No, I said I'd keep it short and sweet and go easy. I'm gonna give it to Sting. I feel as much of a douche as Triple H is to give himself the first match with Sting in the company. I think he will be the bigger, more responsible person and let Sting prevail as the vigilante saint, not seeking vengeance, but rather standing up to the corrupt lead of the company that he wants to save.
Yeah, Triple H, I will say, he has a bit of a reputation amongst some fans for not putting people over.
We're talking about you, the IWC.
I tend to disagree. I think Triple H does put people over. I mean, he put Chris Benoit over at WrestleMania 20.
Sorry, who?
Chris Benoit. The Rabid Wolverine. The Canadian Crippler.
I got this budding pain in my head. Who?
That white guy that used to wrestle with Eddie Guerrero?
Yeah, let's say
Okay.
that Canadian.
Dean Malenko?
Yes, Dean Malenko. He put Dean Malenko over. He did the job for Dean Malenko. I mean, he picked Randy Orton and Batista, and while he kind of crapped on Orton at first in their singles feud, he elevated them in Evolution. He dropped the belt to Batista at WrestleMania 21, and I believe he lost 3 straight pay-per-view matches to him.
Triple H is a good guy.
He put Cena over.
Yeah, he put Cena because Cena was the future merchandise. He was a future wad in his wallet. Of course he was going to put him over.
He put Brock over. Of course, he had to get a couple wins. He had to get a couple good ones in there.
Had to. Because once again, a future investment, and same thing with Sting. So, but I think also, not because of money, but because it's the more responsible...
He put Daniel Bryan over.
Because he didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice to put over Bryan. Leave that alone.
His ego could have gotten in the way. His ego is the same size of that schnoz of his, It's pretty big.
Triple nose.
So it's the Crow versus Sting really in this match?
Yes.
Battle of the Beaks.
Battle of the Beaks, yes.
Battle at the Beaks. Sting's going to walk out. Triple H is going to put another guy there and make you happy. He's going to put another guy over and give it to Sting.
Honestly, when these two walk out, it's going to look like we're going to see Conan the Barbarian taking on the Crow. And this is a fantasy fight.
This is a very what's the word I'm looking for? Very magical pay-per-view. You have you have a crow and you have the barbarian and you have Stardust. It's a very, very colorful pay-per-view.
But that's wrestling. That's wrestling.
That's wrestling. It's back to the 80s. We're coming back. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Sting. Triple H is gonna do the right thing and give it to Sting.
Okay, guys. Right. So you know what that means.
We got one more ahead of us.
We're at the main event of WrestleMania play button. Okay. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Brock Lesnar, the Beast, the Conqueror, taking on Roman Reigns. Big bad Roman. Roman Reigns, winner of the 2015 Royal Rumble. Enforcer of the Shield. Former tag team champion. But other than that, his accolades, his list isn't that big. A lot of fans haven't reacted very well to him. being the guy to go to WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar, which is really funny to me because he was so on fire before the Royal Rumble, and then fans immediately turned. But Bob, please,
I will say why.
Crack an egg of knowledge.
I will say why fans don't like Reigns. Triple H basically gave the idea that, oh, we don't care what you guys say. I run this company. I choose who gets what. So now whoever WWE or Triple H, in other words, or McMahon, whoever, chooses to be the face of their company by their word, the fans are going to hate because they hate Triple H. So if Triple H wants Reigns to now, no pun intended, take the reins, fans are going to hate him. He triggered this reaction out of us. He pissed us off so much, so many times, to where we now just hate whatever he does.
You know, I gotta say,
I feel it's Triple H's fault why Reigns is getting shit on as much as he is now.
He's a very talented guy.
The reason why we wanted Reigns to win in the Rumble last year, nobody wanted Batista. We hated Batista. The reason why we booed Batista, not only was he terribly performing, but that's who Triple H was pushing for. And that's why everybody booed him. I mean, they wanted Reigns. And now Triple H is pushing for Reigns. And everybody's booing Reigns because Triple H wants him. So it's his fault.
That is a very interesting theory. I think when Triple H stated weeks back on a podcast with Austin, he called this era of wrestling the reality era of wrestling, and it makes sense because
so snap into reality and realize it.
Because thank you, Don Vito. Years ago in the Attitude Era, on screen Vince McMahon personally endorsed certain characters like The Rock to be champion, and the fans hated them because they were associated with Vince McMahon. It's the reality era now. The internet exists. There's so much shit out there that fans can see.
But they hated The Rock and all those guys because it was part of the story. It was a gimmick. Now they just hate the guys they push because they genuinely hate the guys. They don't want to support someone they don't like.
Well, they can. What I was just trying to say is that they can see. They know what's going on behind the scenes to an extent. Yeah. And they know that WWE wants Roman Reigns to be the guy, and they've kind of been trained to just hate who, like you said, the authority figure wants in that main event.
But it's no longer like a heel gimmick, but rather it's just
give us something different, and that's why fans kind of turn to CM Punk and Daniel Bryan.
I'm going to make this real simple for you guys. No matter why it happened or no matter what we wanted.
Yeah, we're getting into a bit of a debate about this.
Sorry.
We're stuck with Brock versus Roman Reigns. As much as it may piss us off, as much as we may detest it, this is what we have to deal with as our main event at WrestleMania. Now, WWE can do some good and save the match with a few different ideas that they could do. But this is what we have to deal with, so we might as well just sit back and try to enjoy it.
I hope this match is nothing like how they ended off their little face-to-face on
my God.
With the tug-of-war. That was ridiculous.
That was so stupid.
Those are two monsters.
The memes coming out of that.
Oh my God,
hysterical.
they should not have a tug-of-war over the belt. That was just ridiculous. Barring that, besides all of that, Paul Heyman has done a fantastic job of selling this main event to the fans. He has sold this main event to smart marks who didn't want to see this. Paul Heyman has put me into this match. I'm invested in it. And I'm very excited to see the outcome. I think WWE should just accept what this match is going to be. It's not going to be a classic scientific catch-can bout, as JR would say. I think it's just going to be a brawl.
It's going to be Lesnar.
It's going to be a vicious brawl, a vicious beating.
It's going to be Lesnar Goldberg 2, with hopefully a better outcome, because neither guy is a ring general. Neither one of them is going to command that match.
I think Reigns is going to take a huge beating. I mean, a massive, sympathetic beating that the crowd is just going to maybe rally behind him. But on the other hand, maybe they'll break, and maybe they'll back Lesnar. It's interesting to see where the crowd's going to go with this, too, because they can make or break that match.
Absolutely.
But honestly, the WWE is going to go with the direction they're going to go with, and I'm not going to stop watching, regardless of if it's Reigns. But I'm pulling for Lesnar. I want to see Lesnar keep it.
So getting down to it, your choice is Lesnar.
Yeah, I'm not saying Reigns isn't ready. You know, maybe he's still a little green around the gills. What do I know? I'm just saying that I'm pulling for Lesnar. I hope Lesnar. And didn't Lesnar just say he's officially retired?
Just officially retired from MMA, signed another 3-year deal with the WWE.
So Lesnar's here to stay. So that also opens up a lot of possibilities with that match.
What do you think, Bob?
I'm happy you guys brought up that fact that Lesnar's now going to be more more in the direction of WWE now that he's officially retired from MMA. I think they're probably going to give it to Reigns. I think they're going to give it to Reigns. They've put too much investment. Once again, no matter what, as you said, Don Vito, no matter what the fans want, WWE is going to give us what they want. And I think they're going to give it to Reigns. And then Seth Rollins might come out, cash it in, and take it from him. Because there's still that aspect.
There's always that possibility. I'm glad you brought that up.
That asterisk is still going to be there next to the match. There's still that chance we might not have a new champion for that long.
Okay,
because that's probably, as you said, it's going to be another sleeper, Lesnar versus Goldberg. Fans are going to be put to sleep, and then it's like, all right, the match is over. German suplexes for days.
Well, I feel bad for Brock and Roman because they have to follow Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker. They got to follow Sting and Triple H. I mean, they have to follow a pretty solid card.
Yeah, that's a pretty good card this year.
Pretty solid line of main events before we get to them. You know,
so yeah, I think Reigns is going to pull through. I really think they're gonna give him the title and carry it out.
Okay, so the Roman Empire is here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying, Bob? I don't like saying that, but
it's gonna reign.
It's gonna reign. He
can
reign. And he will.
It's gonna rain.
That is such a dumb shirt.
Wait, what shirt?
His shirt.
His shirt says, I can and I will.
And I will. Yeah, of course you can and you will because you're a 290-pound Samoan. Of course. I don't understand.
Really? That's the best shirt they can come up with?
I don't understand.
How many puns have we made on his last name and they're not capitalizing on that?
I don't know.
Bob facepalmed, for those of you that couldn't see.
It is what it is. It's a facepalming moment.
Sure.
But he can and he will beat Brock Lesnar. I don't think he will. Only time will tell. WrestleMania this Sunday.
My pick is actually a little more convoluted than either one of your gentlemen's picks.
Convoluted. I have to look that up later.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I believe that Brock Lesnar is going to retain, and I don't know if it's going to happen this way or not. I'd like it to. Regardless, Brock wins the actual match. That's my pick. But then I think that Seth Rollins is going to come out to cash in. Roman Reigns will spear Brock Lesnar, and then Seth Rollins will curb stomp Brock Lesnar, pick up the victory, and the show will end with Paul Heyman holding up Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins' hands in victory.
Ooh, Paul Heyman with an M. Night Shyamalan twist on things. I like it.
Except it'll be good.
Yeah.
That would be, so like another, what was it, 2002?
Big Show swerve at Survivor Series.
Paul Heyman creating the Heyman family.
Oh, man.
I would love to see that. I mean, check out theelbowdrop.com if you want to read an article about where good wrestling managers have gone. Because quite frankly, Paul Heyman's really the biggest and practically only game in town. But I would love to see a Heyman family.
It would be fantastic.
So Heyman,
or another dangerous alliance.
So Heyman would join who at the end of the match, you said?
He would hold up Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns' hand in victory.
See, I like the idea. I don't think it's necessary to really put anyone with Rollins, considering he already has Triple H and everybody else.
Well, I think
that's true.
So why would you have to add Heyman with that?
I'm going to tell you my reasoning. Sting's whole reason for coming back is to abolish the authority within the WWE. I feel like once he loses to Sting, we're not going to see much on-air Triple H anymore. We're not going to see much on-air Stephanie anymore. I believe that the faction will still exist with Rollins and J&J Security and maybe Kane and Big Show, whatever. Mark Henry, I think, was in there too for like 2 weeks.
No, now he's good, I think.
Yes, no flip-flop.
They just flip-flop.
They're good at that. But I could see Paul Heyman absorbing Seth Rollins, adding Roman Reigns, having J&J as the goons.
Yeah, he has that ability. He's like a Pokemon. He has absorb.
I see Heyman, if this was a case, that would be incredible if Heyman jumped ship to another guy.
Maybe Seth Rollins and...
I think the best move they can do is have a Heyman turn to get with Reigns. Because Reigns is...
That would be a great way to get Roman Reigns over and turn Brock face.
Exactly. He's a lone...
And Brock's sticking around for 3 years.
If he's going to be around for 3 years, it's the right move.
Maybe Roman Reigns should just accept his fate and be a heel for a little bit, same way The Rock did it.
That's what I'm saying. Like now...
And have Heyman talk for him, because God knows
but that's exactly it. Reigns cannot promo. He cannot speak. He's a decent upper card performance-wise in the ring. Give him a voice. Of all voices, which you've just been going crazy wet for, being Heyman, so why not get Heyman to join on Reigns? Let him squash Rollins. Let Heyman steal.
Andrew WK, I get wet.
That's exactly my point.
So, yeah, I would want that. What I want to happen is, you said, Don Vito, have Heyman join Reigns, rock that title, carry it out, go as far as they can.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Lesnar can join Triple H in that faction.
Lesnar don't need nobody, man. That guy's a beast.
Yeah, he'll be good on his own as a face. Honestly, I think the reason why they keep him off promos and speaking too much on live television is because his voice is a little awkward for his body size. But I think for a face, it'll work in his favor.
I'll tell you, I love those behind-the-scenes promos where he talks about hurting people sadistically.
Yeah, it's
He's
great.
great at those. It gives a big fight feel, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, all right, my prediction, Brock Lesnar, Bob,
I stay strong by Reigns.
Roman Reigns, and Don Vito.
Ultimately, Seth Rollins, but Brock Lesnar for the match.
All right, so you heard it here, folks. Those are our WrestleMania predictions. WrestleMania this Sunday, emanating from, was it the Levi Stadium?
I'm not good with the venues. I'll be honest with you.
I appreciate the honesty. Clearly, I'm not either. Or we could just go. We could just go with Hulk Hogan's method and just be like, "Oh yeah, we're coming to you from the Silver Dome."
Every WrestleMania is from the Silver Dome from now on.
Yeah, because really, I mean, but he's Hulk Hogan, so it's cool. He's allowed to do that shit.
Sure.
But anyway, WrestleMania this Sunday. Those are our picks. Tune in to the WWE Network, and for just $9.99, you can check it out. But also check us out at theelbowdrop.com, where we're dropping the elbow on all things sports and entertainment. And Vito, please tell them where to follow us.
You could follow us at YouTube. You could follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a Kickstarter currently live. And actually, all of our links are either on the website or on the Kickstarter, so you could find us everywhere.
Thank you very much. So, guys, have a good night. That was it.
Yeah, that wraps it up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Happy to be here again.
WrestleMania, everybody.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's finally here.
And don't let your day end without dropping an elbow.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Birdman.
It's a very important thing. All right, fly high, my friends.